Hey everybody, today is Thursday. It's 10:44 a.m. I got an offer from Uber Eats to go to Target and shop for 28 items, 30 units. It says it's gonna take an hour and 11 minutes to complete, so I'm gonna be in there for a long time. It's gonna pay me $27.36 for 4.9 miles. Not too bad at all. And it is now the 20th day on my 16 8-hour fast, and I am officially accustomed to being on it, and now it's absolutely no big deal to go without food for 16 hours every day, which is really a weird thing, but it's true. I don't have any problems. I don't really even think about eating during that time, so it finally happened, and it took 20 days. And I added a new exercise where after I eat a meal, I go up and down the stairs for 10 minutes. And I do that to reduce the spike in insulin that I receive when I eat a meal. And that should help to increase insulin sensitivity, I guess, in my body, so that way the cells of my body are better able to absorb energy from the food I eat. So that way, supposedly, based on what it said on the internet, supposedly when you don't have insulin sensitivity, your cells don't open up and receive the energy from the food, and that's why you feel so weak after you eat. And I should not have that problem, I guess, down the road. I haven't had it today. I feel just fine today. But according to what I read, that's what's supposed to happen by monitoring my insulin, just by exercising, going up and down the stairs for 10 minutes, and of course giving my digestive system a rest from eating, so that my insulin isn't constantly being forced to spike every time I have a meal. We're here at Target. Let's have some fun. This is going to be a long shopping experience. 2 items down. I have to find a greeting card that has dogs on it, and it looks like this one, but it's vertical and it doesn't say happy birthday. I don't see anything like that. Maybe there's a substitute. Okay, I found the one with the dogs. It's just a blank greeting card. Some blank no cards. These items are really hard to find. I'm looking for a pink basket, and it doesn't say where it's at all in the store, so I'm sort of in the home decor section, randomly floating around. A lot of these items are not registering. It's just saying I have to press the button, I have the correct item, because it's not even sure. People really like candles. Just one more basket to go. So I should put all these things in here. I need the space. It's a long process. I got all the decoration stuff done. Now I just have to do candy and other random groceries. This is getting a lot easier. It's like all candy in this section. Candy, anybody? You guys like candy? This one's got a lot of candy. I hope there's not a glitch in this app, because it is just, it's like, is it Halloween? Substitute, our first substitute. Or is it our second? Now it's time for the chips. Another substitute. They wanted party size. They don't have party size. I found the party size Doritos. Let's put back the other ones. Oh my gosh, it's heavy. Don't crush the Doritos. Doritos over there. Alright. Substitute. Everything's been approved except for those Starbursts, and so we're ready to check out. That actually was not hard. Surprisingly not hard, considering the amount of money they're paying. And now we're gonna go 14 minutes, 4.1 miles. We're going to a house. It's a meet at the door, but the customer says, leave it at the front door, please, thank you. So, and it requires a PIN. So I'll message them once I'm in their community and request that they just message me the PIN number, so we don't have to deal with waiting for them to come out of their house. It was really simple. I was really surprised. I thought for sure it was going to be one of those ones where they're going to a party and I have to pick out all these little cute outfits for their children and underwear for their husband, and it was going to be one of those ones where nothing was in stock and I wasn't going to be able to complete the job. But it wasn't. It was really just some random decorative items, some greeting cards, and then just candy and energy drinks, and that was it. So it really wasn't bad. The bulk of it was candy and energy drinks. So once I got all the non-perishables out of the way, I was good to go pretty much. It's already after 11:30. I'm supposed to take my dog for a walk, so once I drop this off, I mean, I guess I can keep the app on, and then when I finally make it back home, I'll just turn everything off, walk the dog, and I'll be done for the day. I have a lot of stuff I have to drop off at the front door, but it's going to be one of those fancy houses, and as long as there isn't a lot of steps, I should be able to just go back and forth to the car. If there are a lot of steps, well, I'm going to have to come up with another idea. I mean, I don't want to have to hurt my back carrying all that stuff in one trip because it's pretty darn heavy and it's bulky. The checkout process to get out of Target, that was okay, and the store wasn't crowded. They had only one checker open. They had the self-checkout, but I had too many items. So when I went to the checker, there was a line of two people in front of me. Both of them were elderly women, and the lady was making small talk with everybody, so the line was moving really slow. But I felt like I was really ahead of schedule, so I wasn't feeling stressed about the wait. and it moved pretty quickly. Doing my exercises after I eat a meal is supposed to be really good at lowering the insulin spikes, because going up and down the stairs activates your leg muscles, your thigh muscles, and your butt muscles, which are the biggest muscles in your body. And it activates those muscles, and those muscles, once activated, start to absorb the insulin that's flowing through your bloodstream. And I guess they just absorb it and utilize it. I guess they convert it into energy. Whereas if you weren't exercising, all that excess insulin would have to go into your cells and would be converted to, I guess, into fat. I guess that's what happens. Or there's other mechanisms in your body that try to bring the insulin level down. I don't know. They were trying to explain the whole science behind insulin and what it does, and it was kind of interesting, but at the same time it was complicated. I'm like, well, I don't quite understand all that's going on, but I think I got the general gist of it. I'm no biologist, so there's no way for me to know everything that they were talking about, but I think I got the basic gist of it. When you have insulin spikes over and over again all day long from eating food, and you don't use the energy, eventually your body gets all mad and doesn't want to deal with it anymore. It's like, I can't deal with all this junk you're putting in my body, spiking up my insulin levels, and there's nowhere for the food to go anymore, for the insulin. So it starts to block it, and then that's when you make your way into being pre-diabetic. And then if it gets really bad, your systems start to shut down and they can't even keep up anymore. And that's when you become diabetic and you have to take insulin, because your body is no longer producing enough insulin for your metabolism to process the situation. I guess process the food. That's why people have all kinds of health problems. Things start to break down. I really should have went through the other gate, but I thought it wouldn't be busy right now. I thought because it's almost lunchtime, all the gardeners and construction workers would be inside of the community. But I was wrong. There's a line. There's a 2 trucks in front of me and at least 3 cars. So I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get past through the guard gate. And I don't want to message the customer just yet until I pass the guard gate, because that's usually when they're confident enough to give me the PIN number. They realize I'm actually in the community and I've gone through the worst part of delivering the order. And then so far with this 16 8-hour fast, I told you guys that I've adapted to the routine, the schedule of eating. So that's been great. My mood has been fine, I guess. My mood has been fine. I noticed that I'm having a hard time dealing with what to do with stress and anxiety, because I'm like more like of a naturally, I'm just that type of personality where I get stressed and I get anxiety. So I usually would use food to cope with it. So now I'm using sleep and exercise is what I'm doing now. So if I start to get too wound up about something, if I don't have the energy to exercise, I just lay down and rest for a while, but I don't eat. And if I really feel the strong urge to eat, I'll just have a cup of tea, and then there's really no significant calories in the tea, and I just try to chill out and just let it whatever's bothering me, I just try to let it go, because it's usually what's bothering me is something I'm thinking about in the past that recently happened, or something way in the past, or something that's coming up that I'm stressed about that's coming up. So it can be difficult if you're a type of person who who is prone um, to easily being stressed and having anxiety. Now, I wasn't always that way. When I was a kid, nothing fazed me. I was very low stress, and but I think as I got older, because I never dealt with the things that were happening, I would just sort of just ignore them. That wasn't a good way to do it, because I wasn't figuring out how to manage them. I was just basically for blocking them out rather than letting them process through my brain. I was just immediately shutting them down. And I don't think that's a healthy way to process whatever is bothering you. You have to go through a process of just like thinking about it. There's really no other way around it. Well, all the trucks are through, so it's almost our turn. Oh man, we got a ways to go. They let all the trucks through to the right because they have special passes, but there are still 3 cars ahead of me, and they're not flowing. We're stuck. They probably are having a hard time getting permission from the resident to go inside. Alright, we're inside the neighborhood. I still got a 1.2 miles to drive until we reach the location. I'll send a message to the customer. Hi, I can leave your order at your door if you send me the PIN number. Thank you. Now they got 4 minutes to respond to me, and we'll see if they do. Otherwise, I'll be ringing the doorbell and standing there. I don't think I can bypass the PIN number in this situation because it's a high dollar amount order. But I guess if they don't respond or open the door, I will just contact support and try to get it approved so I can move on. I didn't sleep well at all last night. I had some insomnia again. I was awake until 1 a.m. and woke up. Fell asleep at 1 a.m. and then I woke up at 4 a.m. So I'm only on 3 hours sleep right now. And I don't know why I couldn't sleep. I just could not fall asleep. So I started watching TV and YouTube videos until I finally felt so exhausted that I could fall asleep. But I got in bed at around 8 o'clock. And so I just laid there and then tossed and turned for a couple of hours, and then finally turned the TV on, and then had the TV on for a while. And that would be the normal time where I would be snacking. I'd be like, let's grab a bag of chips and a soda and have a party. But last night I did not. Last night all I did was I watched shows until I got tired enough, and then I just fell asleep. And the thought of eating food didn't even cross my mind until the next morning when I woke up and realized, wow, I went through that whole night and I didn't eat anything. And even when I woke up in the morning, I did not eat until it was time for me to eat. So it was really weird. Really weird, but really cool. We're getting closer now, and no response from the customer. Where is the turn for this? Wow. These houses, this is going to be a giant house, I can feel it. Wherever we're going, this is going to be a big one. Oh, this is it here. Yep, it's a big one. Let's see. Leave at front door. Look at this driveway. This is fancy. Holy cow, look, I'm driving all the way to their front door. This is their own personal driveway. It said, and leave at front door. Alright, I'll just stop here because I don't know where I'm going. Is this where the front door is? Yeah, I think so. I had to make sure that was the front door. This is like one of those giant compounds. It's really massive. Try to grab all this in one trip. It's not that far. No response from the customer at all. They're probably in one of those multi-million-dollar business meetings trying to close a big business deal. And they have no time for some little tiny pipsqueak delivery driver to deal with. So I went into the app and said, customer cannot find PIN. And that was the only option I could think to select. And closed out the order. And the app let me close out the order no problem because where we're at. We hit navigate on the app so I can remember how to get out of here because I'm totally lost. Navigate me out. It's now 11:51 and I should have some time to do possibly one more. We'll see what happens. Let me turn my DoorDash back on. There was also another delivery order sitting there. Who knows how long it had been there. It's really hard to tell. And we are way up here in the neighborhood. So it's gonna be a minute before I get back out of here. That was a really fancy house. It had its own driveway, and then there were multiple buildings, separate buildings, like there were multiple homes on the property, which was really kind of surreal. It's like, well, this is really crazy. And $13, 13 miles, Costco. No. So yeah, that was really wild. And I have a feeling their food that was sitting there had been sitting there for a while. It didn't appear like the food was recently placed there. So it looked like somebody ordered food and then they're just so busy they just forgot. I guess when you're that rich, ordering from DoorDash and Uber Eats is not a big deal. It's like you're just contacting a friend to do you a favor because there's no cost to it. It would be the equivalent of just telling the mailman to bring you a letter or something. Really weird. I can't imagine having that kind of money that you would own a house like that. It must be really. They must. I mean, obviously, it must normalize in your mind. Like when you first do it, or you first achieve that level of wealth, it must be like a total shock to into your system, because now you're living in a completely different reality. But then give it time, and then it's just normal. Everything, because no matter what happens in life, everything eventually normalizes. You know, when you get a job, like a very important job, or a big company you end up working for, and it's like you think, wow, this is incredible, and you're all excited, and you got this adrenaline rush. And then after a while, you've been doing it long enough that it's routine. You're like, well, this is no big deal. This is you, and then your mind starts to think everybody else experiences these things. It's like, doesn't everybody jet set to Europe 4 times a year to go visit the King of England?